Ross here, modern day performing strongman. Thank you for checking out this video as well as my channel. If you've been following me for a little bit, I just wanted to give you an update. Today is Wednesday the 14th and the baby that we're expecting isn't here yet, so I found myself with a bit of extra time to upload this video where I talk about strongest man in history from the perspective of a modern day performer. So if you're unfamiliar with what I do, I perform feats of strength like bending steel and breaking chains as part of the live show. I incorporate a motivational speech about what I learned that enables me to do this as part of my show, and I do this for schools, colleges, corporations, associations, nonprofits, and basically anywhere where there's really a need for me to do it and can afford me. So, strongest man in history involves 4 of the top strongmen of the modern day. Brian Shaw, who's 4 times world's strongest man. Robert Oberst, who I believe has a world record in overhead pressing. Eddie Hall, who's deadlifted 1,100 pounds, 500 kilograms. And Nick Best. I'm not really sure what Nick Best's best accomplishment is, but I'm sure, these guys are all legit. I'm actually really enjoying the show. So here's what I like about the show, is that these guys are charismatic. They're fun. They make it look like fun to be incredibly, incredibly strong. And I think that that can go a long way towards strength training in general, because when Arnold came on the bodybuilding scene in pumping iron, bodybuilding was viewed as a fringe activity. And when Arnold started doing it, he made it look like it was cool. And I think that these guys can do the same thing for strength. They make strength look cool because they're doing their thing, they're getting stronger, and they're having fun doing it. That's one of the things that I love. What I don't like so much is it feels like scripted TV. You know, like, I follow a lot of these guys on YouTube and their Instagram channels, and I can get insight as to their style. And though they seem to be themselves on camera, it seems to go in a format that is just all too familiar with reality TV, in which case it's not true reality TV. It's done according to a network agenda. True reality TV is vlogs like what you see me do, as we document parts of our lives. That's one of the things that I don't like about it. The other thing that I don't like about it is that the premise of the show is them taking on the feats of the past, not just to simply do the feats, but in order to try to compare who's the strongest man in history. And the fact of the matter is, it is an apples to oranges comparison. Because as an example, the second episode they tried to take on one of Thomas Topham's feats. But it wasn't the exact same feat because they were doing it from a pencil sketch that was done like 100 or so years ago. They can't actually accurately recreate the feat. Another example of this is one of the strongmen was a guy named Monty Saldo. Monty Saldo is known for being able to hold up a car in the Tomb of Hercules position. And they went after this feat. They didn't do the Tomb of Hercules position because they couldn't get into those positions, which in itself changes the feat. Instead, they leg pressed it. Leg pressing a car is no joke. Don't get me wrong on that. But it's not the same. It's not the same as doing a Tomb of Hercules position. That, and because Monty Saldo did it as part of a show, he wasn't pushing himself to the limit. You see, when we pick a feat, we pick something that we should be able to reliably do, that doesn't take too much out of us. So, like, what if the car was 60% of what Monty Saldo could have held? What if it was 80? What if it was 40? The fact of the matter is, we don't know, and he's not around to discuss it.
He could bend steel bars with his hair.
He could bite a nail in half.
My father had to bite through the chains, free himself, and get out of the path of the oncoming speeding car.
I meet people all the time who think this is impossible, that there's a trick to it. There's no trick.
So those are some of the things that I don't like. Now, here's what I love, and I absolutely love this, is that if you watched a documentary in vaudeville, or you watched a documentary on circus, or you did your own research, you might find like a single line where a strength act is mentioned. They don't normally mention them by names. But it doesn't go past a single line or a footnote. They give a lot of attention to these other performers, but for whatever reason, the strongmen have been left out. It was actually one of the goals of me starting a vlog, was to let people know that performing strongman is a thing, that it's not just World's Strongest Man competitors, that there are people like me out there doing shows as a method of entertainment and as a method of inspiring others. So because Brian Shaw, Robert Oberst, Eddie Hall, and Nick Best are out there on a national TV with a series that is going one episode after another, after another, after another, it's getting like worldwide recognition amongst people that didn't even know that this was a thing. And it's paying credence to a lot of the performers of old. I believe that the season finale is tonight, and I am looking forward to what it is that they're doing. So I really appreciate them putting strongman back in the spotlight where it belongs. Not just lost in the pages of history because nobody bothered to write about it in current documentaries about it. So anyways, that's what I like, that's what I don't like, and that's what I love. I thank you for watching this video. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. If you agree with me or disagree with me, please mention something in the comments below. Anyways, this is Eric Moss, over and out.